I could see this as Madison. I'm not letting you sniff this one.
What have you done, Justin?
Let's get silky. Welcome to a special Bulleit Battle Edition of Whiskey Christmas.
Sponsored by Main Street Wine Imports in Everett, Massachusetts.
Because we believe that when you bring home a new bottle of whiskey, it's like Christmas. Non-denominationally, of course, and as long as you're over 21.
Or as long as you're not currently piloting the International Space Station.
Or injecting Botox into a celebrity influencer pet.
Or scuba diving. Would you drink through a straw?
Yeah, would you just let the whiskey float around you like a cloud?
Maybe there's a little whiskey pocket inside the mask.
Or if you're taking the SATs, GRE, or generally any standardized test.
Especially a sobriety test.
Or as long as you're not trying to stop a group of terrorists who's holding your wife hostage at Nakatomi Plaza.
We're attending a water birth.
Especially if you're the doula. Or as long as you're not diffusing an argument between two people that love each other very much.
Don't be the interloper.
So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna taste a bunch of whiskeys that we got provided to us by Main Street Wine Imports. And we're gonna taste them against Bulleit. And we're gonna tell you what we think. Which ones beat Bulleit and which ones don't. All right, so let's get into our first whiskeys. We're gonna keep our Bulleit in these Glencairn glasses so that we always know which one is Bulleit. And Billy, I'll let you pick out the first one.
Ooh, let's go to Old Soul.
Old Soul.
So Old Soul, they're saying high rye, but it's a straight bourbon whiskey. Already confused.
I have an analog notebook here that
excellent.
I'm going to reference.
This is from our executive producer, potentially, if...
Yeah, should they decide to sponsor us on Patreon, they will get an executive producer credit. So Old Soul, 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley, no age statement, partially from Jackson, Mississippi. They actually blend it with another whiskey.
All at Fathead? Is that what it's called?
Cathead.
Cathead? It's a little blurry.
From Cathead Distillery. I'm excited to try this. One of the things I like about all of the whiskeys that we got is that they're all very transparent about where they came from and how old they are, and a lot of them will tell you what the mash bill is. Oh, these are nice.
They're very nice. W+C.
Whiskey Christmas glasses. I'll bet if you give us enough money on Patreon, you can get your own.
If you give us enough money on Patreon, you probably get a lot of things.
Yeah. All right, so let's pour this Old Soul. I'm going to pour mine first because my glass is already in my hand. Classic bourbon notes here. Getting the bourbon oak, getting the bourbon corn.
There's so much corn in this, and you're really getting on the nose.
Doing nosing against the Bulleit.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And the Bulleit is similar, but the Bulleit has more caramel.
Mm-hmm. I almost want to call it more floral. It's just light. It's like a very light, gentle nose.
All right, I'm going to try it. And we're looking at, what's the proof on this? 45 proof, which I believe is the same as Bulleit.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff we're trying is around the 45 proof.
Okay. A little bit grainy. You can taste the rougher edges, if that makes
definitely,
sense.
especially with the finish. I feel like it's just...
That's where it really breaks up for me.
Yeah.
It's got a great nose on it, though.
It does.
Now, against the Bulleit, what do you think?
It's funny, the finish is nicer.
I think the Bulleit has a more gentle finish. Mm-hmm. There's a bit more nice caramel on the nose. I think Bulleit's gonna win this one. And when we're looking at the Old Soul, this one's about $41.99 versus the Bulleit, which is around $30. I think for the money, if you don't want a craft whiskey, if you're just looking for taste alone, I think you might want to go with Bulleit here. So Bulleit is the victor.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I think in this first one. It's been a long winter, and even though spring is just around the corner, summer is just a plane ride away. Come visit La Piscina de Orina and see the bluish pools that everyone is talking about. Leave your troubles behind. La Piscina de Orina. Let the relaxation flow through you. For our next whiskey, we have Cumberland Falls.
Cumberland Falls.
Not to be confused with Cumberland Farms.
Yes. One of the finest New England gas station establishments we have.
We can get coffee.
Good times.
You can get coffee and gas.
Yeah.
You know what I like about this cork?
Tell me.
It didn't fall apart.
That's a weird smelling cork. Is it a weird smelling whiskey?
We'll find out.
It's spicier, that's for sure.
It is. So this one is at least 4 years old. What do we got on
All right,
it?
we got a little bit more age on it.
Distilled and bottled by Owensboro Distilling Company, Owensboro, Kentucky. About $39.99. So this one is comparably priced. Proof-wise, we're coming in at 86. Very different on the nose from the last one. They have an undisclosed mash bill here, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was a hint of wheat in here. Just based on the nose. Or maybe more malted barley than normal.
I already dove in. I feel like the nose is pretty interesting on this one, especially after what we just drank, but that was a surprisingly simple body to this.
This one goes down like water.
Yeah.
And, you know, part of that is that we've been having a couple of whiskeys before this.
We've been hammering on barrel strength.
Yeah. But it's straightforward. There's nothing to complain about with this.
No, and the finish is quite nice.
Yeah, the finish is very gentle. Mm-hmm. The Bulleit feels like it has more going on in the nose, for sure. If you were trying to drink a lot of whiskey very quickly, this would be a whiskey that you could do that with.
Don't try that, though.
I would not advise it.
No. You know, I'm really appreciating Bulleit in this tasting already. Like, some of the brighter floral things about it. I feel like often we're comparing very, like, cast strength, very bold, older vibes against it. And these younger ones are kind of almost a better comparison.
I don't know. I gotta give the edge to Bulleit on this one as well. Because I think Bulleit, it has a more complex nose. This is actually a great whiskey if you're looking to have a whiskey cocktail where the whiskey is not the star.
Yeah. It's also so easy, though. Like, it actually is a nice little beginner whiskey to have around. For someone that coughs and, you know, falls on the ground when they have a little bit of whiskey in their mouth.
Yeah.
It's a good little one to try them out with.
If there's someone in your life that has a debilitating seizure every time they taste whiskey.
Yeah, this will be a better experience for them. It won't be as severe.
Nice gentle finish, inoffensive nose. There's nothing wrong with this whiskey. This is a very solid expression. So Billy, what do we have next?
I think we have some colonists back here. We have, an old settler. I'm not a new settler, I'm an old settler.
So this one is interesting because this one is sourced.
Did they say where? From where?
All over Kentucky is what they say, which means not Indiana, which means not MGP.
It feels a lot more earthy.
Very different.
Yeah.
Very different from anything we've had. I like this.
Smells like, I want to say botanical, but I don't know what I mean by that.
This one retails for $46.99. So that's kind of what we're tasting.
I like our similar price point. I know they wouldn't have given us anything too expensive, but it's kind of nice to just get like a weird little smattering of things and
Yeah. At the same price point.
at the same price point at the same proof.
Oh, we do have a mash bill for this one.
Ooh, give it.
70% corn, 21% rye, 9% malted barley. It breaks up a bit towards the end, but there's a lot of like really cool stuff going on in the middle there.
Yeah, I'm digging this. I think it's got a pretty deep flavor for. How old is this for?
They don't tell you,
They don't tell
but this is sourced. So it's their Camp Number 1 blend.
100 proof. Old fashioned sour mash, just like the old settlers used to do.
When they settled this land of Kentucky.
They soured their mash.
Yeah, I would be... happy to order this at a bar. I'll say that. Like, this is great. The Bulleit's good too.
The old settlers got me.
Yeah, the old settlers got me too. It's just got more going on, more depth of the flavors. Bulleit has nice flavor, but it sort of like rests on the top and just gently dissipates, whereas the old settler stays with you a little bit longer and you get to chew on it a little bit. I would go out and buy this right now. I really would. It's very good, very reasonably priced. Nothing wrong with it.
At other resorts, those fascists force you to leave the pool to eat, drink, and to do other stuff. At La Piscina de Arena, we believe that the more time you spend in the pool, the better the vacation. We've even been developing cutting-edge flotation technology that makes pool sleeping a breeze. La Piscina de Arena. Let the relaxation flow through you.
So I'm excited to try this. Not only is the bottle
Permanently cloudy for some reason?
permanently cloudy and also ornate. I really have not experimented a lot with whiskeys that were aged in red wine casks.
It's got a unique color. I feel like it almost looks more like cognac, which makes sense.
It does make sense. It's got a crazy nose on it. It's pretty dark for a 3-year whiskey, especially at 43%, 43.3, so 86 proof.
This doesn't smell like whiskey.
No, there's like a salty note to it.
Weird.
Yeah. I mean, you get the wine influence.
Yeah, I think you really do.
There's
Yeah.
a grape component to it.
Strange.
Yeah, this is wild. There's a nice sweetness to it.
There is.
I'm impressed. I'll say that.
Super unique nose.
So this guy retails for $26.99.
Really? That's cheap as fuck. I mean, that's probably they got a cloudy bottle, so that's a discount. If you take
Yeah.
the cloudy bottle, you know, it's a few
But
bucks.
then they spent all that money making it look expensive.
Yes, like a beautiful map.
This is great.
That's weird.
It's weird, but I've tasted a lot of whiskey, and I don't necessarily want to taste another whiskey that tastes just like a whiskey I've had. And I haven't had
That's
a whiskey
true.
that tastes like this.
I'm into that. Like people should be getting weird with whiskeys. Like you can only compete with like the classic recipes so much, I imagine.
So this is the old 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley. So this is the same mash bill as the Old Settler, but then aged additionally.
This would be really fun on a cocktail, I think. And you could replace cognac with this.
I think you could. I think it actually has a lot of similar notes, but it also still has some strong bourbon notes.
Fun fact, my first love in high school, if you're out there watching the program, Brandy Alexander, girlfriend of mine for 2 years, wow, was named after a cocktail. And for the first time last night, I had a Brandy Alexander.
And?
It was delicious. And I think this would have went well in it.
This is great. Let me check it against the Bulleit, but I'm pretty sure it's going to win.
I think it wins.
The Bulleit's good, but it just tastes like a sweet corn syrup next to this. This is going to win for me.
Yeah, it was really fun.
This one beats the Bulleit. Honestly, this is a steal. This is really good. I wouldn't be surprised to see this for like $50.
Yeah.
What are we drinking next?
I believe we're switching over to rye. So for this one, we're going to be comparing to Sazerac rye. And back here, we have a part of a horse. In fact, a quarter horse. So this is a 2-year rye compared to a 6-year. A very similar price point, exact.
Depending on where you go.
Right.
But this was $26.99. This one's between $26 and $29.99.
You've turned me on to Sazerac as my go-to rye, and it's quite nice. It is just like made it into my like everyday, you know, if I go to make a drink, like Sazerac's there.
I really like Sazerac. I think it's a great expression. Maybe the first rye I tried where I was like, I can taste rye bread
Yeah.
in here. So mash bill wise, we're looking at 100% rye, and we're looking at a 95% rye and 5% malted barley.
Just a little bit different.
A little bit different.
That 2-year versus 6-year, that's like our big difference between these two.
Yeah. Yeah, let's crack this open. I'm taking it out of your hands.
Take it out of my hands, please.
I don't trust you.
You know I don't pour things on this show.
Unless it's beer.
Unless it's beer, I pour the beer.
This immediately is younger. You get it on the nose. You get it right away.
So fresh and so clean.
Bright floral notes.
Yeah. This is so much more romantic.
It's the giveaway of a younger whiskey. I think the Quarter Horse just, to me, is a very young whiskey. And that's not to say that it's bad.
Yeah, you were just saying I don't know if it's on the show or not, but just like young, if you're going to make a young whiskey, make a rye.
I feel like rye is a little bit more forgiving when it comes to distilling. With bourbon, I feel like it's more finicky. It just takes more times of trying to make a good bourbon to actually come out with something that stands up to what you're looking for from a standard bourbon. But with rye, I think that you can probably more consistently make something that's going to be pretty good.
And we're getting to the point where this is like a marathon tasting, so I'm just like in total whiskey land now.
Yeah, you're in Whiskeyville.
Whiskeyville, USA. Mm-hmm. This isn't like Disneyland, Japan or something. But I'm sure that's a wonderful place too, Whiskeyville, Japan.
It's not necessarily charming, but like I don't think it's bad either.
No.
One of the things I appreciate about this is that they tell you how old it is. You know, you're not walking in, looking at these two and saying like, okay, these are the same thing. One of these has been hanging out in a barrel 3 times as long as the other. So you know that there's going to be a difference there. You know that there's going to be a refinement there.
But why would you ever get this over this? Like just support a local small business?
I would get this over this if I had a cocktail that I was thinking this would sort of be a better base for.
Okay, yeah.
Because I think that there are some notes in here that are not present in the Sazerac. Like they're mellowed in the Sazerac, but they're very prominent here in the Quarter Horse. I think if you're just going for like a straight rye that you're gonna like hang out and sip, you'd have to go with Sazerac.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I'm Sazerac all the way on this one.
Is it possible to save money and help the environment at the same time? At La Piscina de Arena it is. To conserve water, we only fill our pools up to 60%. Nature provides the rest. Our unique, environmentally friendly approach has also allowed us to eliminate indoor showers, bathtubs, and urinals across the resort. There's almost no reason to ever leave the pool. La Piscina de Arena. Let the relaxation flow through you. So Billy, would you say you're ready for our Irish whiskey?
Oh, I'm very excited about the Irish whiskey. I don't think we've tasted an Irish whiskey.
Not on this episode.
Not on any episode.
Not on this series.
On this series or on,
But I've tasted Irish whiskey before.
Oh, of course.
But have you tasted this Irish whiskey?
Did you import this?
Jameson is actually the whiskey that got me into whiskey.
Really?
Yeah, because I had a friend at parties in college would be like, hey, you want some Jameson? And I'd be like, yeah. And I was like, oh, what's that, a $30 whiskey? Man, it'd be great if I had a job where I could afford that.
I can only afford the $18 whiskey.
Yeah, I can only afford Miller High Life Light. Jameson is probably the most popular Irish whiskey in the world.
There's not a lot available compared to Scotch.
Compared to Scotch, no. But if you know where to look, you can get a lot of really cool Irish whiskeys, especially like... There's a lot of great whiskey coming out of Ireland, and I don't want to dismiss that.
Don't dismiss it. I just don't know it. So what are we comparing to the classic?
Ballykefe.
Ballykefe.
Now, what's interesting about this is a single cask. As far as single barrels go, it's very popular in America with American bourbons, American ryes, American whiskey in general. When you go overseas, you don't see a lot of single cask whiskeys. This one is an anomaly, and I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, it's cool they sent that to us. Thank you.
Color-wise, you can see that this is much more clear than a lot of the stuff that we've been drinking.
Is Irish usually single malt?
So Irish is typically, for the most part, single malt.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty much all malted barley. It's a nice glug.
It is a nice glug.
I wonder if they think about that.
Do glug tests?
Yeah, they're like, this bottle's nice, but does it glug? There's actually a nice cinnamon note on the nose of the Jameson.
I just don't think I've ever really bothered to smell Jameson, so it's kind of funny.
No, most of the time you have it, it's like in shot form.
Oh, it's just gone so quick.
And somebody's like, yelling at you.
Yeah.
Like,
and then at this point in life, it still happens sometimes, and you're just like, I'm going to go over here and just sip it. I stopped taking shots. This one smells pretty cool. I don't know what it is.
On the nose, my thought was I wasn't going to like it.
It's pretty juicy on the nose.
After tasting it, I'm impressed.
It's very flavorful.
Yeah. There's a lot of nice, like, juice notes. From the nose, you get a lot of malted barley, which sometimes can lead to a harsh finish. Reminiscent of a lot of, like, American single malts, where you taste it and you're like, this was a great effort. But this is a very unique and interesting whiskey in that it's sweet.
Yeah, it's very sweet. Yeah, but not like, it's not sleazy sweet.
The body on this, I think, is quite good. The nose, not so much.
I don't mind the nose. It's a fruit I don't mind, but it's very, like, it's very aromatic.
It just reminds me of, like, malted barley whiskeys that I've had that were not very good.
Yeah.
But the body delivers. I don't know. Maybe it's just where we're at, but this Jameson, it's tasting.
I know, it's fine. It's like I want to hate Jameson. And
I do want to hate it, but, like, there's some nice honey notes in here.
Yeah, totally. That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, this is younger. Like, we know from...
This is. Yes.
Yes.
They opened in 2016?
17.
We know that it's made in the town of my wife's heritage.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a familial connection.
Yes.
To this whiskey.
There's dead relatives buried in this town. We don't have children, but if we did...
Their ancestors would be in this whiskey. I mean, this is actually interesting because I don't know which one of these is better.
Yeah, it's strange. They're very different.
They're very, like, it's very hard to compare it. Like, they're both Irish whiskeys. They're both totally malted barley. The price point of this one is $61.99, which is at least double what you're going to pay for Jameson.
I don't think it's worth that, but I do think it's not comparable. One, aroma on there.
A lot of cool flavors. You know, one of their call-outs is that they're eco-friendly, handcrafted, non-chill filtered, from their fields to your glass. Whatever they decide that means.
Yeah, an official government label, I'm assuming.
$61.99 for a unique distillery for like a unique flavor profile.
Yeah.
If that's what you're looking for, this is your whiskey. If you're just gonna buy one Irish whiskey, maybe stick to the Jameson. All right, so I would say these are our top three.
Yeah, I think they stood out against what we were comparing them to and are memorable throughout the entire tasting, even though we've been drinking whiskey all day.
I would say for me, based on price and taste, this is gonna be my number one.
It's pretty wild.
I might look for another bottle of this. This, I think, is awesome. There's nothing that's particularly unique about it, but it is a great bourbon.
It's a solid bourbon, especially for the price.
Yeah, for the price, solid. For an Irish whiskey, if you're looking for something unique, even though you know it's young, like taking that into account, you want an Irish whiskey that doesn't taste like every other Irish whiskey you've ever had, I would go here.
Yeah.
So my ranking is 1, 2, 3.
I would go the other way of 1, 2, 3, just because that got me really excited a second ago. I'm like a little kid. Yeah.
But this is our number one. This was very impressive. Yeah.
That's wild.
Good whiskey is good whiskey, and that's why we try to taste it the way that we do.
What have you done, Justin?
Linda of the Does Linda Like It?
Yes.
Linda went to the Dominican Republic.
Yes, I see that.
And I didn't request this, but she did bring back this bottle. And this is a bottle that Billy has been talking up nonstop.
When I went to the DR, I came back with a bundle of sticks to make my own, because when you go into corner stores there, you can just ask for a little scoop of the Mama Juana anywhere you want. And I've had quite a bit of it. So I don't know what's actually in here, but I know there's sticks.
It is locally referred to as an aphrodisiac.
All right, how do you open it? Take the little hat off.
First, you take off the hat. It's just like a normal.
Yeah, this is like a bottle of soda.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so thick.
That is not the color I was hoping for.
I drank a lot of this there.
The rest is just sticks.
The rest is sticks. That's how you know it's good.
This is just like black liquor.
Holy shit. Look how thick it is. It's like jelly.
Did you drink it?
No, I haven't had it yet. It's really woody, plus mouthwash. It's like someone put some decent sticks in my mouthwash.
Yeah, it's a lot of stick stuff in there. No, it's like the sticks that somebody found around their yard.
So when I got it there, it was not this thick. Like, this is just unnaturally thick, it seems, or who knows how long it's been in there. And when I made it myself, it was quite good. I do believe this is medicine.
It's the same consistency as cough syrup. Well, anyway, that's our show.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Don.
Thanks, Main Street Wine Imports. You didn't give us this, but this is what we ended with.
For better or worse, wishing you a Merry Whiskey Christmas.
And Merry Mama Wanna Sponsored by Main Street Wine Emporium? Damn it. I've never heard of the National Space Station.
There isn't one.
Okay.
That's the joke.
Okay. I ain't scared of no roller coaster. Do you want it clean?
Yeah.
I don't want to give you the option.
I'm not letting you sniff this one.
Fine.
How dare you not remember the middle name of somebody that you dated in high school?
I'm sorry, Brandy.
If you buy 4 of these, do you get a full horse?
I don't know if it's the same part of the horse each time, so you may just have 4 butts. It'd be enough meat for 1 horse, but no brains. How did I get here?
How are your lips?
My lips are great.
We could be tech startup executives.
I have ideas.
I don't think I'm gonna have the mama wanna again.
You ever see a dog sniff something really close? They blow out through their nose to get it all aerated and like blow it out in the air so they can smell it. And I keep wanting to do it, but I think I'm just gonna blow boogers into my whiskey.
Whoa. Yeah, imagine somebody gets like stuck upside down on the roller coaster and you're just like sitting there hammered, being like, I don't know who to call.
I have no idea which button to press. There's 2. Well, you just end up smelling your fingers. Thought you'd like that.
Yeah. I like and hate it.